Hello, beautiful souls. Thanks for stopping in. Always good to see you, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If this is your first time here, thank you for stopping. I hope you'll see things that you might like, and I do hope that you'll come back and visit again. If not, thanks for stopping anyway. I do appreciate you taking a couple minutes to look at what I have. And for those of you who have come back, as always, you know how much I love you, and I'm very appreciative of you. So the last time we talked, I told you I was going to paint everything inside white. I'm tearing down all the old wallpaper. I'm covering windows, getting them ready so that when I paint, they don't get messed up, because I want to keep the original windows. You can't see through them, but they are very, I just like them. So I want to keep them as is. I was able to, I'm so tickled, I was able to keep all of the molding that I took off of the walls. Now, there are some tough spots on the walls and on the floors. For instance, in the kitchen floor here, this one's pretty tough. I think I'm going to have to sand this floor because I've soaked it with vinegar 3 times now, and most of it's pulled up, but it's still giving me problems. This here, she's ready for, I think, another coat of vinegar, but you'll see vinegar with the old stubborn wallpaper. You can get it to come out by using vinegar, and you just sometimes need enough, and you need to let it sit on there long enough to soak through that old paper and dissolve the glue. So in here, again, I started making a video, I don't know, somehow I lost it, but I was showing you how I took the molding off the walls, how I was able to take it off without breaking it. It was very simple. After spraying everything with the vinegar to get the wallpaper off, I just took a tool like this, very thin, and I just very gently went underneath wood, and it popped right off easily. So this room here is another one. This was a little tough, but as you can see, it's peeling off now. White vinegar, folks. If you don't know how to get the old glue out of a dollhouse, that's what you want to do. My next step, I don't know if you can see underneath the ceiling where the wall meets, and let's see, in front of that window downstairs in the living room, there are little holes. The stairs and the wall, they're pretty sturdy. However, this wall on the second floor, I don't know if you, yeah, see, that's not very sturdy. So I'm going to work on, I might even just take some kind of caulking or something like that and just sturdy that wall up a little. Or possibly, I don't know if the molding, I don't feel like the molding did much good. So I'm probably going to use caulking or something in that area just to make this more solid. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, I did get new glasses. My handsome honey bought them for me. He picked them out and he bought them for me, and now I can see it's been since before the pandemic that I had them checked. So when I was getting them checked, there was a lovely girl that works there, and her name is Amoy. She used to work at Sykes, where I met my sweetheart, and my best friend, several people I've met there actually. So anyway, Amoy was taking pictures of my eyes and preparing me to go see the doctor, and she had this small Altoid mint tin laying on the counter, and I just immediately I was drawn to it, and I said to her, this is not the one actually, but I said to her, I said, wow, I said, that is exactly what I need for my dollhouse. Because I have a large one, but I felt like it was too big, but it was what I wanted to make a desk that hangs on the wall. Now, the shelf will have chains that go up to the back side of the desk. This will be held by chains. And then on the inside of the desk, I want to put some small shelves, maybe a couple shelves or drawers on one side, a bulletin board on this side. Another bonus about a tin is I have so many tiny magnets. These are not being used. I was thinking we could use the front, we could either make it look like a bigger tin board, or we could make it look like a whiteboard and use magnets with it, or we could make it look like a piece of art. So that's something I'd like you guys to vote on and let me know what you think. Do we want art? Do we want a bulletin board? Or do we want a whiteboard that we can put magnets on? The reason I'm thinking we could do bulletin board is because we can make these tiny little magnets. We can make these look like little thumbtacks if we choose. They are tiny. There's a bunch right there. There's a whole bunch. I bought myself some hole punches, which I'm very tickled about this idea. With these hole punches, I can punch out shapes and glue them onto things, or I can punch shapes out of the edge of a card and make it look very pretty. Different hole punchers. But the cool thing about that is, no matter what I buy, whenever I buy something anymore, especially since I'm into miniatures, I always look at the packaging. Well, I just can't get over the packaging for this, because I've never found anything that I thought was perfect for a toilet until now. And there we have a beautiful toilet bowl. I'm thinking if we set that on a button, put a little tank on the back and a seat, woohoo, we're in business. Of course, I want to show you a plop because this is Sonia's Flips and Flops. So I've been making fairy offerings, and I'm very proud of these. Fairy offerings are anyone who knows fairies knows that they love shiny things. I'm not sure what possessed me to think that I wanted to paint the bottoms first. Once the bottoms were done, flip them over and then paint the tops. And so when I did that, I did it on this meat tray here. And most of them came out all right, but some of them came out like this guy here. These are some more that I made. There's a shiny one. Now, I'm going to show you what I did to fix some of those flops. Here's a couple of the flops are on here. This one was a flop. And so what I did with this one, full dots of each. I didn't want to do that. So I did this with a few of them. I just painted gold, whatever was ripped off. I didn't have too many. Here's one. I just painted the piece that came off. Sorry about the piece that came off. I just painted gold. This one here, the very center of it came out, and I loved it. It was so pretty. But I just painted this one gold, and then I added dots. This one, I had tried to put a name in the space where it happened. That didn't work. So I made a rosebud. And that fixed that. So, these are my fairy. That was my flop for this time. These are my fairy offerings. They're very easy. You just find some stones that call you, that want to be collected. You gather those and then you wash them and paint them. And you can paint, if you use something small, of course you can make them very intricate, or you can make them very simple as well. This is one of my favorites. This one I just followed some of the grooves with one color, and then a couple of the grooves with the second I went over, and then I just painted the rest gold. But yeah, these are a lot of fun for me. Thank you again for coming to see me. It's always good to have you, and I hope you'll be back.